Football season is here. We're bringing you another edition of the Our Coaching Network podcast, and he is Jarae Thurmond, Director of Player Personnel at Western Kentucky University, the GM for the Hilltoppers, all things considered equal. I am John Brice of FootballScoop.com. This is our latest episode. We're glad you're tuned in because this is going to be a really good one. Jarae, you know where I'm going first. I believe we just met at the Personnel Symposium in Nashville in early August. I was fascinated then by your story. I said, I want to talk about it. Here we are today talking about it. You spent 12 years in the U.S. Navy before transitioning into being a college football personnel guru. How did that journey unfold?
Oh man, I am blessed to just be in a position. I think what happened was a lot of people saw in me more than I saw in myself, and just the potential has just been unlocked, and it's just my spot to now reach out to younger me's and try and bring them up as well. It's been a blessing this whole journey, and it ain't over. It's gonna keep going.
So let's dive into that journey a little bit more, though. You're originally from Georgia, South Georgia, I think, and then you go into the Navy. How soon after school? Just what was that process like? And then um, you stayed 12 years, I think, in the Navy. Were you going in thinking you'd be in for 2 or 4 years and bounce out, or what was the plan there?
In all honesty, I graduated from high school in Decatur, Georgia, Southwest DeKalb High School. Went to Georgia Southern originally, and walked on the football team. Walked off of the football team really quick. It was not a. I probably ran off as quick as it was. It was a very short lived time, and then I wasn't being the best student while I was there at Georgia Southern. My daddy pulled me back home. I was just on a path that wasn't taking me in the best of places, and I joined the Navy. A lot, again, more people seeing more in me than I saw in myself, and kind of encouraging me to get out of the environment that I was growing up in and being used to. And I joined the Navy. um, when I first joined the Navy, I tell you, I think I had plans to be in there for a little bit, but I was just going with the flow. In all honesty, it was expanding my worldview, and I got in, and I attained success pretty quickly. I rose up the ranks. I got promoted very fast. Um, I I made rank faster than a lot of people had. Um, and I enjoyed it. I mean, going on, I was 3.5 deployments, 2 ships, another service station in San Diego. It was amazing. My time in the Navy really just it allowed me to grow up, and just expand my worldview. I think it helps me transition into my job now because I can pour into these young men in a world that just takes away. I was fortunate to be Sailor of the Year, Instructor of the Year in my time in the Navy. Unfortunately, had a couple knee surgeries, got hurt, my back messed up, and I medically retired. So I probably would have done the full 20. I've been at year 15. I would have been at year 15 right now. So I'd still been in the Navy, but I medically retired and wanted to get into college football. I had been coaching high school football in San Diego, as you alluded to, while I was active duty, pouring into those guys at Sweetwater High School in San Diego, California. So South San Diego, National City area. Um, I just always had a passion, and I knew I wanted to get back to Georgia Southern to kind of make right what was a wrong on my part. Make that right. I reached out to Jared Banco, who was the athletic director at the time, on Twitter, just on a whim. Just told
Really?
him, hey, if I could just meet you, I very much appreciate it. I don't want anything from you. I'll take the vacation, I'll take the leave from the Navy and come home, and just sit in your office and pick your brain. And he responded to the DM. And those who know Jared Banco, who's now at Auburn,
Yeah.
um, it, he is salt of the earth, one of the greatest people. And I flew home to Atlanta, got in my dad's truck, drove 3 hours to Statesboro, Georgia. In the back of my dad's truck in the dead heat, I changed into a suit, walked into Jared Banco's office, and we can say that was like a canon moment in my life. My life kind of changed a little bit from that meeting. He was very impressed with me, took me on to be my mentor, and our relationship, we speak, if not every month, we speak all the time. So Jared Venko took me on, and he got me in front of Clay Helton, um, who was the head coach at Georgia Southern, still a head coach at Georgia Southern. Got me into a meeting with Clay Helton. Clay was very impressed with my story. I told him, "Hey, I don't want anything from you. I just want to be in the building." And I was the assistant tight ends coach at Georgia Southern, a volunteer,
Wow.
free. I got out the Navy May 28th, 2022. June 6th, started at Georgia Southern as a
Wow.
volunteer. I was the first person in the building, last person out the building, uh, to the point where the janitors they knew me and gave me a key so I could unlock the doors and lock the doors. Um, I really felt that I was going to be a football coach, position coach. That was going to be the path that I was going to take. But again, people saw more in me than I saw in myself. After that first season, Clay Helton sat me down, and I thought I was done. I thought I was getting fired. I thought like, hey, it was good. You tried, but maybe this ain't your path. But no, he sat me down and he said, "You are too valuable to this program to be working for free. I'm going to create a position for you, and I'd love for you to help us out in recruiting and player relations." So I was the first ever at Georgia Southern director of player and recruiting relations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a blessing. I mean, I was full time, had benefits, worked that position for a year under some really great people, and then the opportunity. Uh, I guess Coach Tyson Helton here at Western Kentucky called his brother and said, "Hey, I need a director of player personnel, GM. Do you have anybody in mind?" And Coach Clay Helton vouched for me. I came up, did an interview, and fell in love with Bowling Green, Kentucky. I mean,
Yeah.
this place is special. Just what we do here at Western Kentucky, the just on the field as well as off the field, it's been amazing.
That's what a journey. And I love the humility that you're working for free and you thought you were being called in to get fired.
I'll
That's
tell
kind
you, I
of
was so
crazy there, but
scared.
that speaks to your character and who you are and how you approach things. Again, this is the Our Coaching Network podcast. I'm John Brice of FootballScoop.com, visiting today with Jarae Thurmond, the GM DPP at Western Kentucky. You spoke about that journey going from Clay Helton now to Ty Heston Helton's program that's doing some huge things. You guys win 8 games in your first year there. You play for a conference championship. You lose 60 some players. I think I heard your DFO mention at the DFO meetings in Dallas in early May that you guys lost more than 60 players off that roster, including 4 defensive linemen who signed contracts for more than $3 million to leave and go elsewhere. We'll get to that in a minute. But now you're already 1-0 in 2025. You played week 0. You just keep winning. You've been around success in the Navy. You've been around success at Georgia Southern. What are some of the things that you see in your journey that translate from Navy to Georgia Southern to now Western Kentucky, Jarae?
Man, it's to me, it's really discipline, and the discipline has grown through a culture and everybody pulling in the same direction. You can't push a rope, but you can all pull in the same direction. And I think when we all buy in on a shared mentality, that's what a team is. And when you're whether you're deployed at sea and you got a mission, if everybody's working in the same direction, we're pulling in the same direction, success is bound to happen. Um, Here at Western Kentucky, I mean, we've been able to just deal with adversity, kind of be ahead of it, and be the trailblazers of that. And that's a true testament to what Coach Tyson Helton has brought to this program. And since he's been here since 2019, success has been quite prevalent here. And that was a key component to me, taking a position. And we dealt with adversity and losing all those players, but that's the nature of college football these days. I'm happy for those young men that came through here. Hopefully, they've learned something while they were here to take on to the next place they're at, and to clear a path for the new guys to come in as well.
I would imagine very much a key part of military life, in your case, the U.S. Navy, and thanks for your service. I would imagine a very key part of that is the ability to adapt and evolve. So, how much has that component of your military background maybe fed into what is one of the most rapid ascents in college football that I think any of us would be could remember in modern times. The sport's younger than it's ever been before, especially in the personnel ranks. But you're only 3 years removed from the Navy, and you're running things at a Group of Five program that's among the standard bearers in the sport.
Man, I've been blessed. So I mean, honestly, I don't have all the answers every time. I'm learning on the go, but you know what? What I've learned from the military is so what now what? So if things go wrong, things are not right, you got to be that firefighter. You got to put those fires out. We're in a solution-based, production-based business. So whatever problem comes about, it ain't the most difficult problem in the world, and it ain't the end of the world, but we do want to find a solution. My job is to make my boss's job that much easier. I don't want to take any of the credit for it because I got some really great people working alongside me to help me and save my butt as well. I'm gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes, but you just gotta learn to, not make that same mistake more than once. And I've been blessed to be able to take care of it.
I don't want to ask for trade secrets here, but I would like to have a little more insight if you don't mind. Again, as we visit with Jarae Thurmond, GM, DPP at Western Kentucky, John Brice of FootballScoop.com here on the Our Coaching Network podcast. You just referenced it, like there's going to be problems. You better find solutions to problems. So when you lose 60 plus players, and again, I don't want to say that you lost all those to attrition. Some was natural graduation. Some were players
Yeah.
that were fulfilling the end of their COVID extended careers and had been in college football for a long time. So you didn't lose 60 dudes to the portal, but you lost 60 some dudes off of last year's team that played for a conference championship. How do you approach finding the solutions to replace that roster? Not even necessarily money, talking money here, but just what was that process like for you, if you don't mind diving into that and peeling back the curtain a little bit?
No, no worries. I mean, when you're in the situation and you're in the weeds and the thick of things, and all those people leave, all those players leave for whatever reason, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. At come 8 months from then, you're going to have to play football. You're going to have to trot the guys out there, and you got to hope that what you have put on the field and what you have built allows players to realize that they can come do it here at Western Kentucky as well. It's about bringing in the right kind of guys, and I'm really happy with who we brought in December as well as April to come in. And I mean, it shows. And after our first game, a conference opponent, you come out to a brand new team, and we were hitting on all cylinders. So it's really impressive. But I mean, so what now? What you gotta be Semper Gumby. You gotta stay flexible throughout all of this process because it's not written. You don't know how it goes. You never know. It's human nature for some people to want to leave and grow and progress, and you just gotta roll with the punches.
Semper Gumby is an all-time line. Like I feel like if you put that on a t-shirt with your all's crazy mascot, you'd probably print money, Jure. Like you'd be killing some money. Like I would buy a Semper Gumby t-shirt that had the Hilltopper mascot on that. So I think you might need to pursue that, maybe trademark that. Maybe Pat can work on the design for you there.
We're gonna get this season out of the way, and then we'll think about it.
So as we talk about this season, you guys get ready for game number two. How many new players total do you have? And you referenced it, and I saw it last weekend. You guys overall played an incredibly clean game. How do you bring in that many new players and play that kind of an overall clean contest?
I mean, it's time, and time heals all those things. So we got a lot of those guys. Majority of those young men came in December and January, and we've been working with them every since. I mean, every day is about ball here. We love ball, and we bring in players that love ball and can buy into Coach Helton's vision. And I mean, whatever it takes, and we're going to continue to sharpen that knife. We understand that adversity is going to come, and it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. Like I said, we had a very convincing win in week 0, but we got to keep going. We got to keep sharpening that knife. And that's going, I mean, with us being in the conference championship last year, everybody's eyes are on Western Kentucky, and we just got to keep the press on, in a sense, to stay successful throughout it all.
I know we're jumping around a little bit, but I want to jump back to one thing. When you're still in the Navy, you're stationed in San Diego, and you're also coaching high school football. Like, I'm being as literal as possible here. How in the world were you active in the Navy and also coaching high school football? And what was a typical day like for you that included practice? And what was a game day like for you?
I mean, the greatest thing that the greatest way to serve God in my eyes is to be of service to others. So I, I saw a need. I love the game. I wanted to be around the game, and I was fortunate enough to have that opportunity to coach at Sweetwater High School. Um, I I just made it happen. I mean, so there were times where I had to go out to sea, or I had to go overseas and do a training mission or something of that sort. And I wasn't there, but for the most part, it was shore duty, and I was able to be there for those young men. I'm talking about rides back home, rides at home from practice and everything. I learned more from those young men than they learned from me, I'd like to think. And I mean, I still have relationships with them, still talk to those guys as they tell me, hey, coach, I'm graduating college now, or coach, I got to play at the next level for a little bit, or just seeing them be successful and be fathers themselves and uncles and just model citizens. That was the most important thing for me. So I just made a way. There was no time to sit and say, oh man, like I'm stretching myself thin. I don't have this time. I don't have that time. When you can make the time, and it wasn't as taxing as I tell you. I was working more hours being in the Navy and a high school coach than I am now, and I'm working a lot of hours now.
It's like you got a cheat sheet because you took me right into my next question, and that was about to be like, you got some long days in the Navy, but how do the long days in the Navy compared to the long days that are in college football?
I tell you, we got sailors and so many servicemen and women out there right now serving while I'm able to live out my dream and be within college football. We still have people deployed right now, so I never want to take away from the time that they invest. I can tell you, like my normal day while I was out to sea, anytime the ship is out to sea, I'd say it's averaging about 18 to 20 hours a day.
Wow.
Guaranteed. I'm gonna get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep, and it may be interrupted depending upon your watch schedule. So what I do now is it pales in comparison to what our servicemen and women are doing out there. And we very much appreciate them. And I want them to know that if they're listening, they are not forgotten. We remember them and we appreciate them. So thank them for their service. I appreciate you for thanking me for my service, but my service is done. We still have some out there who are working and protecting our freedom so that we can go out for 12 guaranteed Saturdays and have a time for 3 to 4 hours.
And I do want to follow up with one more question because you referenced this would have been 15 years in the Navy had you not been forced into medical retirement 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So 12 years of service. How many different countries did you visit? Were you stationed in or report to during your time in the Navy? And just what are some of the moments that when you think about your time in the service, or you reflect back on it, what are some of those moments that immediately come to mind?
I tell you, so the only continents I have not stepped foot on are South America and Antarctica. I've been to
Wow.
every other continent, if only for just a short moment. Like I spent a little time in Djibouti, Africa, but everywhere else, like I've spent time. So it's expanded my worldview. I was able to be a young man from Decatur, Georgia, to go to Alaska, to be stationed in Hawaii for 6 years. Those things when I was a little boy, I just never even imagined. I never saw it for myself. Um, I think like I I've been to Japan. I was able to go to the Tokyo Dome when I was in Japan. And as a young man, I'm not gonna date myself, but they used to play preseason games in Tokyo, Japan. And I used to watch it on TV and say, man, it'd be cool to go to the Tokyo Dome. So while I was in Japan, I went to the Tokyo Dome, took a picture. Like I never could have imagined in my wildest dreams to be there. And then you look at it last year, we opened up against Alabama, and I'm at Bryant Denny Stadium, and I'm just sitting here like, my goodness, I never thought I'd be here either.
That's incredible. We're about to wind down here with Jarae Thurmond, the GM and DPP of Western Kentucky University Hilltopper Football, and Ty Helton's great program. And I got to know Coach Helton just briefly when he got to Tennessee as Jeremy Pruitt's offensive coordinator, and then after 1 year got that Western Kentucky job and has really done some amazing things there. You're doing amazing things in your own career journey. How much has the sport evolved just in the 3 years you've worked in college football? And as we wind down here, kind of where do you think that college football is going from a personnel standpoint, from a way that the players are moving around, and just where do you see the future of college football and the next step in evolution?
I mean, we're in a fluid environment. It's ever changing, and you got to keep up with the times. The way you keep up with the times is to just stay present. Um, I enjoy every day going out there to practice. I mean, I'm trying to run down balls during routes on air and help them out and everything. But I know myself. That is the number one thing in personnel is just know thy personnel, know thyself. And I know that I don't need to be running around no more. But you just gotta you just need to stay present. I mean, these young men still need guidance wherever they go throughout their whole process. And that is why I got into the game. As a player, like I said, I walked on, walked off. I want to be the person that I needed when I was coming up. And I feel like I'm doing pretty well at that. It's more of a reward for me to be around those young men than it is for the other way around. I'm so grateful and blessed to just be in their lives and be able to make an impact. I hope I'm making an impact because they're definitely impacting me. Like I said, I continue every day. I get to go into a place. I get to go into a place. I don't got to. A lot of people say, man, I got to do this. I got to do that. Man, I get to be around some really special people. And that's just a true testament to, like I said, and I'll keep repeating it. More people seeing more in me than I saw in myself.
I got to meet a lot of people at the Personnel and Recruiting Symposium in Nashville at the 1st of August. I'm getting to do this podcast with you, Jarae Thurmond. It has been awesome. We're grateful for the time. Game two coming up against North Alabama. Good luck there. And you talked about a visit last year to Bryant-Denny Stadium. I know from just peeking a little bit ahead at your schedule, you get Death Valley down in Baton Rouge a little bit later this year. I'm not trying to get you to look ahead, but I'm excited that you get that opportunity. Jarae Thurmond, DPP GM at Western Kentucky, thanks a bunch for visiting with us today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate you. Remember those, everybody deployed.
Absolutely. Once again, he is Jarae Thurmond of Western Kentucky. I'm John Brice of FootballScoop.com, and this has been the Our Coaching Network podcast. Until the next one, enjoy this one.